I might say something that is very unpopular, but in my opinion, I truly feel like Carlos Correa and the Astros are actually good for the game of baseball because we always need a villain. We had the Yankees and A-Rod about a decade ago, and now Carlos Correa, to me, I mean, he's the best villain since A-Rod, and I have so much fun watching the Dodgers versus the Astros versus the Yankees. I don't mind them anymore. Honestly, I think I'm closer to getting over what happened in 2017 than still being upset over it, if that makes sense. Or maybe it's not that unpopular because even guys like Joey Votto had this to say about Jose Altuve and the Astros. He's pretty much saying, get over it.
Do we move on from the Astros booing?
Yeah, and there's no question about it. The idea that they were the only one doing something wrong just baffles me.
What's going on, everyone? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another MLB recap. If this is your first time on the channel, we do this almost every single day. The reason why I'm saying almost every single day is because I'm going on a family vacation for the next few days. I will be back on Monday. There's still going to be some videos uploaded on the channel, but the daily recaps, they'll be back on Monday. I promise you guys. But today is going to be an absolute banger. Let's talk about an injury update. Unfortunately, this one actually pains me to say out loud. Anthony Rendon is going to be out for the remainder of the season with hip surgery. And if we know anything about hip surgery, it is not something that is good for a baseball player. Bo Jackson struggled with it. A-Rod, he pretty much retired because his hip was going out on him. So if Anthony Rendon can come back healthy in 2022, I truly feel like if the Angels, if they can add some pieces, they will be a playoff team. But unfortunately, for 2021's sake, unless Joe Adele becomes Mike Trout overnight, I think the Angels are donezo. Now, we'll go ahead and break down the Angels game in just a moment, but let's talk about yesterday's lone walk-off victory. We have the A's versus the Padres. 37-year-old Jed Lowry hit his 12th home run of the year, but then the Padres answered back with Adam Frazier, Trent Grisham, and Victor Caratini. They put San Diego up 3-1, and Joe Musgrove was really good. 6 innings, only 1 earned run, and considering how good the San Diego bullpen is, I thought for sure this game was going to get wrapped up, but Yan Gomes, he had other plans. He ties it up in the 9th, and then the Padres almost blow it after a little bloop to the right second base kind of gap. You have Frazier running into Jake Marisnick, but they do make the play. Tommy Pham, he grabs the lead back in the 10th inning, but then Matt Olson, all-star Matt Olson, I want to make sure you guys remember that, he walks it off. He now has 28 home runs, 72 RBIs, and a 162 OPS plus. He is going to get some MVP votes. Moving on over to the Dodgers versus the Astros. Max Scherzer's first start as a member of the Dodgers. It could not be more entertaining as they're facing the Houston freaking Astros, where you have fans in attendance for the first time since the Astros were caught back in 2020. So his first strikeout was against Jose Altuve. Michael Brantley answers, kind of quiets down the fans for just a moment, but then Mookie Betts and Will Smith, they answer back with home runs, and then Mookie does it again for his second home run of the game. His OPS is back up to 900, even though he's been slumping, which is crazy to say. AJ Pollock adds a 2-run home run, and then Max Scherzer goes 7 innings, only allowed 1 walk on 10 strikeouts. He was so good, and actually after the game, he thanked the Dodgers fan base because it felt like a playoff experience, and he's never had a curtain call. And I can't believe that was the first time in Scherzer's career in which he had done that. So good job, LA. You made him feel just at home. But like I mentioned, Correa is such a good villain. He hits a home run. I wish he would have done the pouty face to Joe Kelly. That would have been just so much fun to watch. And Altuve ends the day with 4 strikeouts, the golden sombrero. Now, Jansen makes it a little bit scary in the 9th inning, but he does close it, and the Dodgers escape with a 7-5 victory. Moving on over to another NL West team, the Giants faced off against the Diamondbacks. You have Nick Ahmed keeping the game 0-0 with a web gem in the 3rd. But then you have Solano coming in huge, and Kevin Gausman was back in business yesterday. 1 earned run on 0 walks with 8 strikeouts in 6 innings. Buster Posey and Dickerson, they drive in 4 runs in the 7th, and the Giants, they get a pretty easy victory over the Diamondbacks. San Francisco is 3rd in team OPS as an offense, and also on the pitching side of things, they're 3rd in team ERA. So if you don't think they're a top 3 team in baseball, you don't know baseball. Let's talk about Shohei Ohtani. It is showtime, ladies and gentlemen. He was so good yesterday. Juan Lagar scores on a wild pitch, and Ohtani was dealing into the 5th inning without allowing a single run. Captain Jack Mayfield, again, we keep on talking about this guy. He has been playing very well as a Anthony Rendon replacement. Shohei, he allows that 1 earned run on a ground out to Adolis Garcia, but he doesn't walk anyone, has 6 strikeouts, and his ERA is now sitting at 2.93. after he gets a W to improve to 6-1 because the Angels bullpen was pretty good yesterday. They hold the lead. And when you have a guy with a sub-3 ERA, how can he not be the most talented player that we've ever seen? This is not supposed to be possible. So oh God, anyone who hates on Shohei Ohtani, you're just stupid. I can't even believe that I was watching this yesterday. Matt Harvey was dicing the Yankees up to the point where he went 21 consecutive innings to begin the second half without allowing a single earned run. I thought the Dark Knight was maybe back. I was like, what in the 2013 am I watching? But Anthony Rizzo, he breaks the seal. You have Gleyber Torres and DJ LeMahieu tying it up at 3 runs apiece. And Taillon, he was really good. 10 strikeouts in 6 innings. And DJ on a little single, he grabs the lead back. And Stanton, the Orioles defense is so bad. It seems like they're little leaguers whenever they try to catch a fly ball. So he drives in 3 and clears the bases, and then Gleyber on an RBI double puts the Yankees out even more, and then DJ LeMahieu turns in his best game, in my opinion, of the year, going 3 for 5 with 4 RBIs. Anthony Rizzo makes history. He is the first Yankee ever to have an RBI in 6 games to begin his tenure with the Yankees. When you have done that, and guys like Derek Jeter, A-Rod, Joe DiMaggio, Babe Ruth, Mickey Mantle, Lou Gehrig, when they haven't done that, that's some pretty elite company. The first to ever be that guy? Wow. So if we talk about the Yankees, we have to talk about the Jays and the Red Sox. So let's do that right now. George Springer, to me, is the best leadoff hitter that I've ever seen in my lifetime. Now, I'm only 25 years old, and of course, Ichiro was a thing, and Tony Gwynn was a thing. But because of George Springer's power, he is just so good. And I'm not saying that he's better than Tony Gwynn or Ichiro. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, as a power leadoff hitter, he's probably the best that we've seen ever, in my opinion. And I also completely forgot that the Blue Jays had Corey Dickerson. So he drives in a few, and then Randall Grichuk, this RBI makes it 4-0. The score is 6-0 when Springer drives in 2 more for Steven Matz, who throws 6 shutout innings with 8 strikeouts on 1 walk. But as soon as he gets out of the game, what happens? Any team in baseball has a chance to make a comeback when they're facing the Toronto Blue Jays bullpen. So Owen Miller, he clears the bases, and then J-Ram and Mercado make it interesting. Now, the Blue Jays do get a W, but to me, the Toronto fan base, they were not happy. It was kind of an L because their bullpen is still horrible. That's not going to hold up as the season gets older. And like I mentioned, we're going to talk about the Red Sox as well. JD Martinez was facing his former team, and he goes Oppo Taco at Comerica, one of the deepest ballparks in all of Major League Baseball. Kike Hernandez tattoos a 430-foot bomb, and then you have Jarren Duran going back-to-back with Mr. Hernandez. Erod, 10 strikeouts in 5 shutout innings with 0 walks. That's only the second time in Red Sox history that anyone has done that. I think the other guy was Chris Sale. I watched that real quick on Quick Pitch. So the bullpen comes in and dominates as well. Boston ends the day with 18 strikeouts. The Tigers, they're not very good against left-handed pitchers. Jorge Polanco has been a monster over the last 3 or 4 weeks. He hits his 18th home run of the year against the Reds, and then you have Farmer driving an RBI, and Votto delivers again with a 2-run double. That was followed up by Jonathan India. Again, he is going to be the rookie of the year if he keeps this up. An RBI in the 4th inning. Luis Castillo, he has been a Cy Young candidate over the last 2 months. He goes 6 innings, only allows 1 earned run with 7 strikeouts. And Tyler Stevenson, this 420-foot blast was clutch because Minnesota, they stormed back and they lost the game by 1 single run. Lorenzen, fortunately for Reds fans, he was able to induce a double play to end it, and the Reds are only 4 games back to the wild card. Moving on over to another wild card team that has to win this game. Unfortunately, they don't. The Mariners get handed an L by the Rays 4-3. Randy Arozarena is able to get past a diving Jared Kelenic. Even though Kelenic probably didn't need a dive, he straight up missed this ball. I'm surprised they called it a triple. Joey Wendell, his sacrifice fly brings the lead to 3-0. And then Brett Phillips, I just want to show this play. It was really funny because the woman was frightened, like, oh my God, what's happening? And then Brett Phillips is like, hey, I'm here, I'm actually real. But then he has an awkward tap on her head. I don't know why he did that. Then you have Mike Zunino hitting a 425-foot moonshot, and Sheriff comes in to save it. So that was the first win of the year. I can't believe I'm even saying this. The Rays' first win against the Mariners of 2021. Absolutely stupid. It might not be to a lot of you guys watching. Moving on over to the Brewers versus the Pirates. Luis Urias, his web gem was confirmed. Now, the umpires at first called him safe, but Mr. Eduardo Escobar, he barehands it, and he was called out. And then he comes in clutch with the stick on an RBI single in the 3rd inning. Jacob Stallings and John Nagowski, they give Pittsburgh the lead momentarily versus Freddie Peralta. But then Rowdy Tellez, 423-foot lefty bomb. He now has 5 home runs, 16 RBIs, and an almost 350 batting average as a member of the Brewers. And Devin Williams, he's going to have to be clutch because Josh Hader is on the IL. But Devin Williams has 115 strikeouts in his last 65 innings. That is ridiculous. The Phillies, they beat the Nationals 9-5 yesterday. You have Robles, Garcia, and Kieboom hitting 3 solo shots for the Nationals. But then 2 doubles for the Phillies makes it 3-2. And then Bryce Harper comes in clutch and ties it up. Reese, he then scores. Bryce Harper after driving a ball to the gap. So he gives the Phillies a lead and then he extends it on his 24th bomb of the year. Didi, he adds some salt to the wound for Nationals fans on a 412-foot no-doubt home run. And then Bryce Harper, he comes in clutch yet again on an RBI double. Bryce is on pace quietly for a 30-20 season, 30 home runs, 20 stolen bases, and an over 400 batting average. He is having an MVP campaign. It's just probably not going to happen because he started too late. The Mets versus the Marlins. Jonathan Villar drives in an RBI on a ground out. And then we see why people call Javier Baez El Mago, the magician, because he slides in headfirst at home and he's able to avoid the tag, and the Mets score another run. And Cookie, Carlos Carrasco, he simply puts the ball in play and a run scores after the Marlins made an error. Jesus Aguilar ties it up on a moonshot in the 6th, and Javier Baez delivers on an Oppo Taco. Then was talking smack to Marlins fans as he rounded third base. He is so much fun to watch. The Mets get another one on a bases-loaded walk from Brandon Nimmo, and enter Angel Hernandez. I feel bad for Brian Anderson. Even Mets fans were like, yo, that was not a strike, but we will take it, as Trevor May strikes out 2 for his 3rd or 4th save of the year. When Edwin Diaz is not closing it, it's usually going to be Trevor May or maybe Seth Lugo. They kind of go back and forth. We have the Braves facing off against the Cardinals, and Nolan Arenado started off the game with a blast, his 21st home run of the year. But then you have Heredia driving in a run on a double for the Braves, and Jorge Soler, he has been very good so far for his new team, 432 feet in the 5th. And then Duvall, this was a huge deadline for the Atlanta Braves. We're going to talk about Jock Peterson in just a moment, because you have Stephen Vogt driving in a run on a sacrifice fly, and then Jock Peterson drives in 2 more on some very weird defense from Dylan Carlson and Harrison Bader. First of all, you have Dylan Carlson not catching the ball. He's pretty good. Usually he catches that, but then they run into each other. Just very strange. Now, speaking of strange, Dansby Swanson, he is having a weird season. He has 20 home runs, which is a career high, but his defense and on-base skills have kind of slipped. So either way, the Braves, they win 7-4, and they're back to 500. They may have broken the curse. Moving on over to the Royals versus the White Sox, you have Olivares hitting a home run, and Whit Merrifield drives in a run on an RBI single, and then Salvador Perez hits home run number 27, which ties a career high with almost 2 months left in the season. He is easily going to hit 35 to 40 home runs. Michael Taylor hands Gio, Mr. Lucas Giolito, his 6th earned run of the day. He has not been very good. The home run has been his biggest issue this year. Carlos Hernandez of Kansas City only allows 2 hits on 1 earned run in 5 innings, and Ryan O'Hearn smacks a 2-run home run later on in the game as Nicky Lopez makes it 9-1. Lucas Giolito, I thought he was maybe going to be a front runner for the Cy Young. He has been the 4th best pitcher on the White Sox this year. And then last but not least, the Cubs versus the Rockies. Brendan Rodgers is proving why the Rockies should have moved on from Trevor Story, as he has 9 home runs and a 110 OPS plus. That's pretty good in my opinion. Ryan McMahon puts on a clinic at the hot corner. I think he's number 1 in all third basemen for defensive run saves. You have John Gray dealing up until Patrick Wisdom got lucky. Ramil Tapia was unable to corral this ball. It was in his glove until it wasn't. The Cubs bullpen is able to hold it down, and they improved to 52 and 57 on the season, which honestly, that's not too bad. And I think that they have a pretty decent core after they traded for all those guys, and they might be good next year, maybe 2023. It could happen. All right, everyone, well, that does it for today's MLB recap. I'm sorry that this came out a little bit late. I had some issues on the YouTube side of things. I had to have a long chat with someone, so that's all corrected, I think. Thank you guys for watching. Remember, I am going on family vacation, but there will be a video or 2 over the next few days. Monday, I will be back. We're going to come out with some bangers. Stay safe. I'll catch you guys later.